Okay, so today was a better day mentally. Yesterday, if you watched it, was a bit of a disaster on that front because of the frustration around filming on my own. But today I've sought to deal with the whole. Sorry, I'm making soup for my wife. Today I've sought to work on the whole collaborator front. Had a great call with a filmmaker from Greece. She's English also like me. She's been living in Greece since 2019, and she's really cool. And she and a Greek filmmaker, Greek producer, are trying to get together a team of people who just want to just come together to try and create things. And you know, as I said yesterday, you don't become a great filmmaker unless you have a great team. And I was speaking to my mum earlier today, and she said, you just have to expand your network. And I agree, and that's what I'm trying to do. I messaged another Sicilian guy that I met. The only Sicilian filmmaker I've met so far was a guy who owns a production company in Sicily, in the south. And we met for a coffee. He told me what he did. He's more of like a production services company. He helps productions who are coming over from abroad to film in Sicily. He helps set it all up. So I spoke to him and I messaged him saying, hey man, do you know any filmmakers in Catania? Because I really am looking to try and make things happen now, and I really need some collaborators. And he said, oh sure, what do you need? I said, well, I'd love anyone who works in the camera department, like a cinematographer, or interested in the camera, or an actor. So he said he's going to message someone he knows who's an actor. Wouldn't it be funny if it ends up being the same guy I'm trying to connect with and there's only one actor in the whole of Catania that people know? Maybe that's an insulting thing to say, even if it's a joke. But yeah, so that was 2 leads plus another finally sorting out getting this coffee next week with this other actor. So things are still moving. If we look at it day by day, that's the point of these videos. Day by day, what small efforts am I putting in towards the overall goal? And often it's very easy to get caught up in the end goal and not so much focus on the positives day by day. So that's obviously something that I need to work on. It's obviously something we all need to work on. It's really difficult sometimes because we all have such strong goals, sometimes such strong visions for our future, and then we get frustrated in the present when things are not happening. And that's something clearly I was feeling yesterday. And yeah, it's an amazing thing, this life. Not to get too deep, but it's an amazing thing, this life. We have so much power. So much of our lives we cannot control, but we also have so much power to make effective change, not in our lives and the lives of others. And some of us have different opportunities, some of us have different circumstances which maybe prevent that, but even in the smallest form, you know, we all have so much power to change, to do things, to act. So that's something I need to harness in on. And yeah, just get to it. Something I'd like to speak about though is just quite funny. I uploaded my first TikTok. No, I've uploaded TikToks before, but my first vlogging TikTok, which was just some clip. It was a 2-minute clip from the first video on this channel. And I was adding music to it, and I just didn't know that on TikTok you can really only do about 1 minute worth of music. And I just thought, well, 2 minutes is already too bloody long to be doing a clip on TikTok, and I feel so old. And I just keep thinking to myself, you know, on the one hand, I'm like, oh man, if TikTok was around when I was 24, or even younger than that, if TikTok was around when I was like 21, when I was at university and I was doing all sorts of crap with my friends, like creatively, I was so much in the theatre, such a creative time of my life and such a fun time of my life. Would I have been like a TikTok kid doing stuff? But then at the same time, I've watched YouTube for years, and I'm only starting YouTube now as a 29-year-old. So, you know, everything at the right time. And I believe that the fact that I'm 29 doing this whole YouTube thing now, I just feel like I have so much ahead of me still. so much ahead of me, but also so much that's come before this moment it's helping me share my own reflections from a point of view of experience, but hopefully with a level of humility that's keeping me open to so many more new experiences that maybe if I was older than this, I wouldn't be able to have. I see it even in, other people, older generations, people in their 50s, and how difficult it can be for them to change their patterns of thinking, to try new things. We all have parents who are older than us, and so, yeah. It's not a slight on them, it's just an example. It's just to know that when we're young, even 29 feels old to some. My wife always calls me old, cheeky little sod. And a 16-year-old or a 20-year-old or whoever would watch me right now be like, oh, he's so old, 29. But I feel good. I feel energetic most of the time. I mean, right now it's 7:30, so it's almost my bedtime. But yeah, there's a lot to be positive about. I'm going to make my wife this lentil soup. I'm not sure what else there is to speak about other than just TikTok is a scary thing, and one of the things I need to learn about being a filmmaker here, or being a filmmaker in this sort of decentralized approach, is learning how to harness the power of TikTok and harness the power of social media in general, includes Instagram. And I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. Yeah, when I say decentralized, that doesn't mean that if I had an opportunity to direct something for Netflix, for Amazon, for Warner Brothers, for HBO, any company you can think of, A24, all these things, oh my God, then I will have made it in this career. I would have made it, and I don't want to say beyond my dreams, because I actually know that we have to have lofty goals and we have to manifest things. So, something like that is the goal. Even from here, that's the goal. And to say this is a decentralized approach is to say that the traditional opportunities are not going to exist here in Sicily. So I have to try different things, and that's one of those things, harnessing the power of TikTok, because maybe it's going to lead to something that just gets me noticed here. That's the thing. The key to any sort of industry like this is you just have to get noticed. You need to meet the right people, learn what you can, and there's no direct pathway. Directing is one of those amazing things. There's no clear pathway. You just have to make films. But I'm going to now make some lentil soup that is perfect for anyone from Eastern Europe and anyone here from Sicily, maybe too. Generic Eastern European accent, but I can do that. I've lived in Eastern Europe. 2 години Skopje. How do you say in? I can't remember how to say in Macedonian. Prijetno.